Alright guys, so this is the review video, and really this essentially can just become like a parabolas review. Since I'm posting so many videos right now, I'm going to refer you to those videos, just because a lot of the stuff I cover in here is very similar to what's already up there. Like for example, these first 4 problems, I'm referring you to the eccentricities video, where I do go over how do I find it. Now, I am changing the question 1, 2, 3, and 4. I gave them to you in general form, and I really wanted to give them to you this way. So, my eccentricities, guys, actually my problems, change them so that they're like this. Number 1 should look like this, number 2, number 3, number 4. And what I'm also doing is I'm giving you guys the answer just because I am changing the problem, and just so you know that this is the answer. How do I find it? So work through it so that you can do that. So again, look at the eccentricities video, where I go over this stuff, and we're going to move on here. These next 2 questions, I'm telling you to make the general form. So right now it's in standard form, make it into general, so something that looks like what you scratched out over here. And so again, I refer you to the eccentricity video because I do go over it in that video. Okay, so first problem here, I'm asking a double nape cone, like the one is intersected by several planes. Okay, so what kind of shape can I expect if that's the way I cut it? So if I cut it parallel, just like this, to the top of the cone, if I'm looking down, guys, I would make a circle here, and so that's what I'm really asking for. Part A, I made a circle. Okay, if I made a perpendicular one, well then the resulting shape would be like these 2 half parabolas, which would make a hyperbola. A parabola, if I were to cut just one of these at an angle, but not go all the way through, then the resulting shape would be a parabola. And if I had it at an angle and went all the way through, then it would be a ellipse. So I know I just gave you all the problem, but all the answers, I'm sorry, but just go through them, okay? So, again, this parabolas review, pretty much this page is the only thing I'm going to go over. The other ones I'm going to refer you to other videos. So, right here, really number 8, number 9 is very similar. So what I'm giving you here, if you read it, I'm giving you a focus and a directrix. Even though I don't tell you that's what they are, it is what they are, okay? And so, I started to draw this out. So they gave me a focus at negative 9, 5. And I also have a line at y equals 7. Okay, and so this is what they gave me, the focus here and the directrix up here. So I know that the vertex is right in the middle. So this is the shape I'm making. Remember, the focus has to be in between both of these. Okay, so my h and my k, my vertex is right in between. So I know it's at negative 9 and positive 6. Okay, so this is a general form, x minus h, y minus k. Because this is moving in the up and down form, the x is squared and the 4p goes over here, and because it's moving down, it's negative. Okay, and so remember, p is the distance between the vertex and the direction, or the vertex and the focus, one of the two. Okay, so my p value is equal to 1 here. Okay, because that's the distance that I have in between both. So if I just fill this in, this becomes x minus negative 9, which is x plus 9, negative 4 times p, which is 1, and y minus 6. Okay, so and I mean, I can write this several ways. I could divide by 4, which means it'd be negative 1/4 x plus 9 squared y minus 6, or I could say that the y minus 6 is in front. Okay, several ways, I mean, but this is the general form of it. So if they manipulate stuff around it, I mean, they're just moving stuff around, but it's the same answer. So the next thing I'm going to go over here is, again, parabolas, guys, but this is a little bit harder. So I do go over this problem in the review, like the one I post on Classroom. So I'm going to go through one of these. This is the general form of the equation. Now, I'm not used to seeing it this way, but what I'm going to do is subtract the 9 over here. So it looks like this. Now this is kind of looking a little bit more like the form that we're used to seeing, like we're seeing up here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is convert this. So if I were to do this, guys, x minus 3 squared, it's the same as x minus 3 times x minus 3. And I did the FOIL, I would end up with this right here. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to turn it into a square because one of them has to be squared. And I know it's this side because of this right here. But what I'm doing is essentially I'm adding 9. So if I do this, I have to subtract 9 because I don't see an extra 9 up here. Okay, and then this becomes y minus 9. So now it's kind of looking more like over here, this form, one of these forms. So what I would do here is now add 9, so it becomes y minus 0 is equal to x minus 3 squared. Okay, so essentially what I have here now is an h and a k, a vertex of positive 3 and 0 in the y. Okay, so if I start drawing this thing out, positive 3 and 0 in the y. So it looks like the vertex is right here, and I know that this is squared, so it's moving up. Okay, and it's not negative, so that's why I know it's moving up. And so as I start to find what it's asking for, first of all, this is the symmetry right here. So the axis of symmetry is that this is moving through the x-axis, which is x is equal to 3. So automatically that already puts me at answer A. I know it's that. But I'm going to go ahead and go through the rest of it anyway. So if I wanted to know the directrix and also the focus, remember guys, that's a value of p away. Now if I look over here, guys, the p value should be up here in front. And right now I know it's 1 because there's nothing in the front. So 1 is equal to 4p because that's my general form of the equation, right? Like I saw up here, the 4p. Okay, so if I solve, p is equal to 1 over 4. Okay, which means if I move down a fourth, I'll find my directrix, and that's moving through the y-axis. Negative 1/4, right? And my focus is going to be up here, still x equals 3, but 1/4 up. So 1/4 up from 0 is 1/4. So everything else is verified, focus and directrix. Okay, so go through that problem, guys. It's a little bit harder, but I know you guys can do it. So last few pages here, guys. This I'm just referring you to the different videos. So for this page, number 12 all the way to number 17, look at the Hyperbolas Day 2 video. I go over how to do these types of problems, so please go over that one. I'm sorry, this is an ellipse, so this should be the ellipse Day 3 video. Sorry, my mistake. Okay. And these are both ellipse questions, so these are Day 3 videos at the ellipse. So again, guys, look through these. I'm referring you to these videos, so the review completed will be up on the classroom, so please go ahead and look for those and study.